was so popular at the beginning, but he just disappeared off the map, and Omen's taken over his slot. So see you later, Brimstone. Omen's in your position, and hopefully that Omen's going to have their Red Bull. Seeing if Omen's straight in with a lock over on the defender side there, lads.
Yeah, the lock's already going to come through. So you can already see the great overlay, of course, is going to be the agents that are selected. So Josh actually going to be having the breach, have the Cypher, Raise, Omen, and pretty much they have now fully gone through. So not many duelists, but a bit of an
No.
interesting mix. And I don't mind this at all. But now it actually does look like prospects are, sorry, the attackers are kind of making their decision on what they want to do. They do have a Killjoy locked in, Reyna as well. It actually does look like a very similar setup to what we saw before.
Where's Sky, lads? Have you seen many agents being selected for Sky? I've hardly seen any at all. I saw it in the trailer, I think, for Ascent. That's the most I've seen Sky. Was the
Yeah,
flash coming through the window. That's about it, mate. I haven't seen anything else.
I'm a little bit surprised. Yeah, we haven't really seen a lot of, iterations of Sky being implemented into the rotation yet. And Sky's a really interesting agent because she's very good for support of the team, but as soon as you start to lose your teammates, it's a hard agent to be for yourself. Like there's not really a lot of things that are useful for you. So I think that's kind of the difference that people are noticing right now. Would love to see her back in the servers more. Would love to see Sage back in the servers, especially with those recent changes in the patch notes. But I mean, players are still being, a little bit particular in what they want, and it does take time to, figure out what is the best selection, and it does take time to, scrim it out and practice everything out.
And that's a very good point, actually, and wicked breakdown, mate, to follow off the tail of that. That's it, isn't it? There's not too much time to practice Sky. Using those flashes, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess up and maybe get the flash off or waste the flash. And yeah, a buddy system. It's essential to have that buddy system. Talking of that, though, the buddy system, going over on the other side of the map from where we're looking at, there's been some damage, I believe, inflicted already. Jet's super lit on Anime Super Soldiers.
Yeah, and that's actually going to be the spike carrier also, so it will be, and the great camera placement here from the Cypher from Prospects. That was really good positioning, so I actually did locate the remaining players, or the few players, my apologies. But it does look actually like Bior is going to be pushing through with his Reyna teammate. Will just be, I believe it's Melio, is going to be just posted up inside of the tool shed, so just holding things off. Going to throw the one-way Cyber Cage. Still not peeking, using that Cyber Cage to his advantage, but that's going to be a big peek from the Sova and big kill. And now going for the burst, and oh my goodness, making that a two-piece. Trying to see if he can find a little bit more, but Pho is going to go for the bomb plant, or the spike plant, my apologies. And now that's a triple for the Cypher. What on earth is going on?
It's like a deathmatch server. He's practicing with a classic and he's hitting his shots, that's for sure. Going for the potential ace here on the menu. Yes, please. Pistol round days. This time for coming through. Breach going for the bait. Breach going for the frag for that matter. And off you go for the 4K. 4K there. Coming in from Melio. That is what a pistol should look like. Right there.
Yeah, the phenomenal hold. Big discipline. Doesn't go for the peak. Uses the Cyber Cage just to hide in there. An amazing discipline, and that's where you see in the different levels in Valorant, from the ranks, from anybody at all, is just reacting to situations, and that was just being cool, calm, and collected, and collecting that three-piece, which was just miraculous.
Collecting the dog tags. 1, 2, 3. I think you've got a fourth. Was it a fourth on the return? And Breach just chiming in saying, "No, mate, you're not getting ace just yet. Come on, simmer down. Not yet."
Not quite yet, and that actually is going to be the camera placement again. A really good spot. Does get that quick information, so now they can decide, do they want to go for the wide swing? Do they want to put that aggression? Will be the order to pick up this ult. The ult orb, so now having 3 points and just a few more to go, of course, to unlock that ultimate lock. Unable to unlock the ultimate tongue twister, apparently. But either way, talking about tongue twisters, it is going to be Anime Super Soldiers pushing their way through slowly through A main.
He got there, and so will the players. Having a little party at Courtyards, seeing if there is any room to slap the blanket down for the picnic. It's going to be calm, or chem, I should say, chemicals. Way of phrasing it, and a name. Love to see some spicy names. Keep us on our toes. Get that poison. Hopefully, throwing the toxins into the site here. Guard, no. Guard, it's going to be Ninja.
Oh, and this is such a big play from Josh. He uses the flashpoint, and he just gets easy pickings of 3 players. They were completely blind. That was a perfect placement to put that in. You could tell they all were stuck. They had no idea what was coming, and Josh full speed ahead, pushes on through with the Spectre, picks up his own 3-piece. And that's a big round from Prospects.
You talked of CS. You talked of briefly the util and flashes, yeah? Flashes are crucial in CSGO, and Josh translating that aim along with his utility use into Breach's abilities. So Breach, somewhat of an agent that's been up and coming in the Valorant scene, but right now you've seen it from Hiko, you've seen it from Josh. Perfect practice flash is paying off for the 3K.
Now for the bonus round, Prospects going to keep those Spectres in the hand. Melio is able to find the head of Yor. And look at this, they're still just pushing on through. They actually want to bring the fight to enemy Super Soldiers, so they are just going to push into middle. Josh takes him down, and that's a clean sweep. And another 3-piece from another teammate. This is just becoming the 3-piece day, apparently.
Frag Fest, Frag City, SSN. Lots of frags left, right, and center. Actually, no, just on one place, Redis, on the side of Prospects. They are hogging, they're holding all the frags here, and not much to be said from the anime Super Soldiers. They're looking like maybe they've been neglecting going to the gym. If they are supposed to be Super Soldiers, you want to see the guns, you need to see the muscles. Where they at? Where they at, Super Soldiers?
And now they will go for that purchase. I mean, so they are going to have the Phantoms and the classic buy, of course. And now it looks like Prospects still, I believe they're actually keeping the light weapons that they had before, if I'm not mistaken. But it will be Bior, actually, which will be the Killjoy. Going to be pushing on through, getting market control already. A little bit of a different setup, and that is going to be Frosty right behind him. Bit of a different. Look at this aggression. Josh, he's going to be using this flashpoint. It's going to allow his two teammates to push on through. That's an amazing placement. So it allows them to get that information and map control. So now they can just now reposition themselves to anticipate where anime Super Soldiers are going to go.
I can't stop smiling with the plays that Josh is making. This is so creative, lads. Bringing that CS element, bringing that executor's style to the game right now. Talking of what's happening at the moment, though, Prospects. No Prospects to be seen for this round. It's over and out.
Over and out, the Super Soldier staying true to their name, pick up a pretty dominant round. So now Prospects will have the money in the board. That is 3 rounds that they went for just their the light purchase, the bonus we'll call it. So look at that, we can already see. So they have plenty of funds to spend. And they should have enough to transition that into another round, but we will have to wait and see. But I'm really impressed so far with the way that they're using the Breach. Josh really just utilizing the teamwork, and that, like you said, that is from the CSGO background. So a little bit more of that typical like setup and communication with just using the flashes and all these different crossfires.
It's a lesson, isn't it, really, in how to play FPS. You don't need to be that fragger. You can get the plays by supporting your teammates. Talking of support, Lockdown is going to be supporting the attack here from the anime Super Soldiers, but as you'll see, I don't really think that's going to be the play. It's just going to be the distraction noodle. Interesting.
Yeah, so now even Josh, he's just sitting in the back and middle. He's now located these players from the attackers. Now they're going to change their plan. They were towards B main, but now pushing up into Catwalk, but he's going to throw the flashpoint. Does it once. He's going to be able to have 2 more if he wants, but Nismo finds the head of Frosty. Pushing on through, and it will be Pho that is going to be pushing on. Gets the spray, but he's not able to land the frag, and Nismo going to be able to pick up another. And that's going to be Josh going for the flash once more, but it's not going to matter because Chemicals, he's made a good combination as he is able to find the one, but now it's a 2-on-2 situation. The spike's down. Still plenty of time to go. So that's going to be pushing these players back. And the Hunter's Fury, now it's coming through on the attacking side. And look at this. A little bit of dodge movement, some Neo action in the Matrix. But now they're pushing on through. Get the door closed. The spike about to be planted.
Spike definitely to be planted. Prospects 2 versus 2. Anime Super Soldiers, they know this is the time to get back in. They don't want to get that economy break without too many frags to be seen. It's going to happen. They're going to get it done. It's 3-2. Anime Super Soldiers, I made that rather colourful comment about not hitting the gym. They have been hitting the gym. I take it all back. They've just been getting a personal trainer, and it's been coming to their house because of COVID. I take it all.
Call it the caster's curse. I mean, now they're just coming out completely swinging. They got the warm-up. They got the Red Bulls in, whatever they need, and they're feeling it. Now we have ourselves with Prospects with still a 1-round lead, a 3-2 scoreline. But now a little bit of a missed buy because we can see there's some judges on the field, as well as it is just going to be the Sova here for Prospects, not even going for a purchase at all. Melio just going to hold the tight angle. The camera does locate a few of those players in B main, but he is going to swing wide. He goes for the spray, but Bior able to win that exchange. And that's kind of the difference. There's no players that are trading here on the side of prospects.
That, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broken, switch it up and get the wrench out. They've been trying that same peak over and over again. It worked pistol round. It's worked the second round too, but you can't keep doing that one-trick pony. It's going to get you punished.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because that has been kind of the typical setup that we've seen from prospects. That it is just the one-man show. Yeah, like you said, the one-trick pony going for the wide swing, just going to go for that duel, but it just doesn't pan out, and that's kind of the difference. But now Critical spots the location of RZU, and he actually does take him down. It looked like he wasn't able to make that through. Now Josh, he's going to be close by with the judge, but now Fizz able to take down Frosty. Getting Bior up into market, but he actually does get caught with the fault line. Now is back, fully conscious, ready to go, still posting up, still hanging out. Being a killjoy, a little bit different, but now Chemicals does have the spike. These attackers getting ready, stuck in B main. The aftershock comes through, doesn't do any damage, but these defending players, they're completely stuck, and it's all just down to Josh, and he's spamming away, and he's doing damage, but he's just not picking up frags, and it's just down to him. And now the Rays of prospects with no time remaining. I mean, they're going to be able to get the spike down, but does he really go for this at this point?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? The judge in the hands of Josh there. It's like a judge that's new to the job in the courthouse, and order's trying to get order, and nothing's happening. Just hitting and hoping with that judge, and it's like me being in the courtroom. I have no idea what I'm talking about. There we go. It's showing that there's still some practice to be had. Just the one for Nismo. Ult saved, and you love to see the ult being put into another round. The showstopper still available. 3-3 to score.
Not really seeing a lot of flaws so much from enemy super soldiers. They've now seemed to figure out kind of what they want to do when they go for these executes, and they kind of have the right game plan. And what we're noticing from prospects at this point is their rotations are a little bit off. Positioning, they're kind of hesitating. They catch themselves, they're in the wrong position at the wrong time, and that's kind of where enemy super soldiers are really just able to fully take advantage of that. And now we will see, it will be Pho that is going to be posting out with the op, but instead he'll get pushed back. The dark cover, the one way in the favor of the prospects. And now they're going to go for the wide swing in B main, so they've learned their lesson, and now the one-trick pony has now become a two-trick pony. Double players, and now able to push back, and the spike already making itself towards Catwalk, so they've given up this hit at B.
My next trick, there'll be two ponies stacked on top of each other, and it's going to be just the one. Chemicals coming through. Lit. And the showstopper put right at the feet of Raze there. Nismo is so risky. Grabbing one, not able to grab two, and it's going to be back to the 3-on-3.
Yeah, that's such a risky play, and you could see Nismo was just hoping there was more than just the one player, but able to get that trade for the 1-and-1. Now making it the spike going to be planted. Enemy super shoulders, they are just grouped up in sight, having their jet in the back of A main, and actually Critical gets the amount of time for the reload. Frosty finds the head of Milo. Now 2 players remaining for prospects. They need to find these frags, but instead it is going to be Fizz to find the one, finds the 2. Now it's a 1-on-1 situation. 5 bullets remaining. He's looking at the wrong angle, but that's going to be Frosty, puts the classic to absolute mayhem. And now enemy super soldiers pulling up the lead.
Frosty, seeing that experience come to play. So just a little bit of background. Enemy super soldiers, they have been around the block a little more than prospects. Prospects have been in the top 32, but definitely a newer roster, and doing their best to keep up jab for jab, punch for punch with the super soldier opponents. 4-3's the score. Prospects obviously on the defense here, and defending weapons, I don't know about this round. Looking iffy, looking sketchy. Sheriff a stinger. The budget buy, as we like to say here. But is that going to be enough against Vandals and Phantoms? I don't know.
It's really going to come down to timing and how they peak this, but you need to see Bjork needs the Nano Storming going to go for it. But look at how does RZU win that exchange? He goes for it. Back to the one-trick pony. I mean, we were kind of giving you some big criticism, but instead they're like, you know what? Let's just keep doing it, because that is the one thing that is working. They pick up the frag, but now Spike making all the way across the map, going to be rotating its way towards A. No players in sight to put any sort of a fight, and Chemicals just locking things down on Cat. And it will be Fizz, he's holding it, just slightest corner. The smokes come through, but he's not able to make it. Frosty finds a two-piece for himself. Body bagging now the two players. Now, only two players remaining here for Prospects.
Need to get themselves into it. Not with shots like that going out of chemicals. That's illegal, and it's definitely going to put poison into the drink of the opponent. Nismo, that Sunday night cocktail, that Sunday afternoon beverage, not looking so good as it seems. One is a lonely number, and 4 versus 1. Oh goodness. Oh goodness me. The operator scope just looted. Oh.
And just like that, I mean, that's going to be it. Frosty to put that round into order. And this is kind of what we were saying before. I mean, Prospects, they are a relatively newer team to my understanding, and they have made their transition to Valorant. But yeah, like you said, they are trying to get that experience in these tournament or organized tournaments and getting that exposure, whereas Anime Super Soldiers definitely have the upper hand with their experience. And I believe they were previously with Built by Gamers, but I'm not too sure on the circumstance of that, but definitely some recognizable talent on that side.
Most certainly critical. You've seen that kind of aim before, and yeah, Foe obviously as well. Covered the tags there, and you do your homework. Let us know what you can find. Always love to hear the story as they go, and the stories are still being written. Only a couple of chapters deep in here into Valorant. Fizz though, he's got the off angle on the hold and hoping for the push.
Actually, a bit of a different execute now from Anime Super Soldier. So using the jet with the operator in hand, creeping through B main, scoped already in, locked in, knowing someone should be in this position, but oh, instead Nismo peeks a bit too early, and that's going to be the attacker Killjoy that's going to be used. So this is that moment where the defenders, they either have to go for this fight or they have to completely retreat. You can see the radius on the minimap, and that's exactly what they have to do. But the attackers, they need to take advantage of this if they want to use it to its fullest abilities. But RZU being a bit of a nuisance in the back, but Bior picks up a double now. Back and forth we go, and it's just going to be down to Josh all by his lonesome. One is going to be the loneliest number, and it might do because he is able to take down Bior, looking for a few more, but he's got a knife out. I don't think he's expecting Critical to be here. And that's going to be Critical to take him down, but a valiant effort indeed from Josh.
Josh has the aim, not enough to win that round for the game here. 6-3 to score. Anime Super Soldiers starting to can certainly run away with this one. Prospects not have too much of a say. 3 versus 1 just gone. And good aim, it's not going to be enough to take it in those kind of situations. The trade out is too good there from Anime Super Soldiers. Prospects, a couple of guns, been yanked out of the armory though. 1 Vandal, a Stinger, a couple of Sheriffs. So what this tells me, this is, we've got to start taking rounds. Doesn't matter about our economy, we need to start making special plays.
I really like that play from Anime Super Soldier. So what they did is they threw the turret from the Killjoy right on top of the wall in mid link. So what that can do is a bit of a distraction. The player, if they're playing aggressive on cap, they're going to shoot it, but then the player can go for the wide swing. But instead they actually played a little bit different, but that was definitely the idea. Instead now they're getting ready for a B hit. The camera placement with Melio does get that location, actually lands the recon dart onto Jet, so it allows his Fizz to find it. He actually gets it in the mid-air, so now able to pick up the Vandal, fully ammoed, but Frosty takes him down. And they're going to be pushing on through into the site, and all 3 remaining players from Prospects, they're just stuck inside a connector defender side spawn.
Good frag there from RZU. And a 3 versus 2 here. Prospects, you're right. They keep getting caught in positions. Nismo grabbing the 1 tap. Love to see it. It's the 1-on-1 now. So Raze versus Killjoy.
Oh, and Nismo, he definitely thinks that he's around either market or inside of market, or sorry. Oh my goodness, but look at this. They're right beside each other. You're making quite a bit of noise. Oh, but he finds it, and he looks at the right time. He gets a second chance. Nismo, you could just tell right down to the last second, he just churned. I think his crosshair placement was really, really expecting that market play.
He was, and why wouldn't he be? Why would he be just chilling in boathouse there? Not the most predictable. Both players just head on a swivel, trying to catch where someone's been coming from. And 7-3, bit of BM coming in there from Anime Super Soldiers, and the excitement. I think this is a good half if you could be on the side of Anime Super Soldiers. Very good half.
Yeah, and this is where the frustration comes through. I mean, you now have, you lost the first 3 rounds, but really they've just pulled in 7 in a row. So this is where Prospects, they have to have that mental fortitude that they're just not completely down. Because right now, Anime Super Soldiers, they just seem to be doing the right recipe indeed. And even Critical finds that first entry with the Hunter's Fury, and that's going to be Nismo. He's actually caught in a bit of a hard place, so he's going to have to fall back, reposition himself. His attacker stuck inside of tree, but Josh trying to just play it by himself. He will get punished. Now, pushing on through once more. The defenders are finally making connections, but Chemical, the right amount of ingredients needed, and that is going to be now a 1-on-2 situation. And the HP for Chemicals, it's low.
He's been having a really good game. His Cypher cams, they have been absolutely phenomenal. Does his aim have the same kind of mainframe sense though? He's been very well early. We need to see those frags right here, right now.
This could be the dagger in the back, and Melio just creeping on through. Both these players, a bit of a crossfire in the just underneath the A rafter. Melio playing a bit of an off angle, and oh, you could tell he was looking for that little bit of a pixel of a headshot, but Chemicals does find it in the better slight angle, and now that's another round for Anime Super Soldiers to pull on through. That is 8 in a row, Kappa.
That's so many rounds, and if it gets into that second half, they get this last round, and they begin the second half, the pistol round, to get that double figures, like 10 in a row. That's so many rounds. That's more than just a kick in the stomach. That's like you've been kicked in the stomach, then someone's kicked you again while you're down, then they've poured food on your head or something, or thrown rotten vegetables on you. Absolute insult to injury. 8-3's the score. Must win for Prospect if they want any prospect of taking this. We are going to see the showstopper coming out early, trying to force the issue there, and it's not going to get the job done. Chemicals. What's he doing here, lads?
And that's the thing, he's now used his ultimate, so that's the Empress, so it gets that increased fire rate. Just looking to see what he can find. Being a bit hesitant, but finds it. Takes down RZU, so now uses the Smiths to run on through Melio. A little bit of an element of surprise, just hangs out right in that cyber cage, picks up another. That's a Spectre. Now going to use the Neural Theft, so going to be able to get that location reveal of these two remaining players, but it will be the Shock Dart that lands right on top of them. Oh no, not like this. I mean, now you can see Fizz creeping, does spot the shoulder, gets the spray, gets the one. Can he get the second? The spike is going to get planted. Shock Darts galore, and it's going to connect for him. Shock Darts everywhere, please.
Yeah, Shock Dart incoming. Shock Dart on the radar from both Sovas there. Love it. Talent. Been practicing their aim with that Recon Bolt and the Shock Dart. 8-4's the score though. We are going to be making our way into that second half. So Prospects able to sneak in one last round. But let's be honest, that was not the half they wanted.
Definitely not. I mean, especially for how that game went. You picked up the first 3 and then just lost 7 in a row. And I mean, finally pick up that last round, and definitely crucial. But this just adds way more pressure now for Prospects. So they're down by 4 to make it a tie. They're going to need this pistol and, of course, the second to really just put that pressure back. But we'll now see what they have in store for us on the CSGO background. Can it show its fullest potential now? Honestly.
Show your colors, CSGO players. Let's see it. Let's see the one taps. Let's see the screen plays. He's playing Valorant now, so I guess the Valorant plays for days. Here comes the paranoia, and very paranoid in those gardens. Overwhelming footsteps.
Oh, that's going to be the burst from Frosty. Does take down the head of Nismo, but instead, actually, the attackers, they go all the way around. Bit of the surprise from A Rafter. Now that's going to be Melio, actually does take down Frosty, so they found these players in not the best positions, and it looks like they're trying to go for a spam. I'm pretty sure you can't do that with the pistols.
Not with the classic. I don't think so. Scare tactics, maybe.
Oh, look at that fault line. That completely landed right on them, and they're stuck. They're completely hit. Stuck in the mud, if you will, and now Chemical's finally putting that frenzy to work. Pushing on through, so all the players going to be jumping from above, and they're just trying to burst fire as much as possible. And it is going to be the cleanup Prospects. They pick up the crucial pistol round they desperately needed.
Taking out crucial. The round was crucial, and it's crucial to keep it going. They got to keep their momentum and the fire in their veins, preventing the double figures. And that was 8. Was it 8 or 9 rounds? I think it was 8 rounds. You were just mentioning there, Laz, with the history, the timeline of what Anime Super Soldiers have been doing so far in this matchup of Ascent. If you just joined us, this is not the same map of Ascent that you saw a couple of hours ago. This is a different map of Ascent. We've had Ascent galore here for the Valorant Sunday Showdown here at VCS. Hopefully enjoying it so far. couple frag here, joining the pipes of Laz. And this one, so far, looking dominant from Super Soldiers. Prospects, they are looking to get a piece of the action, looking to get back into this.
Now changing it up. I mean, Nismo putting the raise and just kind of holding things off, but there are actually just going to be 3 different players here from the defensive side that are going to be close by. Fault line does make the connection, does land on the Reyna, but now should be all good. Back to full consciousness, but now Nismo still just waiting to see. No pushing yet from the defenders. This is good discipline. Critical, you can tell, getting ready to go for a little bit of a play. Gets these classics to work, and the Sheriff only picks up the 1, and that's going to be with Josh with a double. Now they get this B site open. 2 remaining players from enemy Super Soldiers. They're going to be just in the defender side connector, and that was actually Flo that was trying to push on through with the dash, but not able to make it happen. And that is going to be a big cleanup here for Prospects.
Massive cleanup. And you said about Josh's talent. You mentioned it pre-game of, oh, I'm seeing some great CS:GO names coming across there, and talent with superior crosshair placement. He's done it again, and he put a Bulldog to work like it was a fan house from CS:GO. And if you're familiar with that, if a player has that kind of skill and the precision to put a budget rifle, a budget assault rifle to work and actually get the frags, it can make crazy plays occur. So far, so good if you're looking at Josh there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need. I mean, now Prospects, they're on that bonus. So enemy Super Soldiers still winning by quite a few, but this is that round where Prospects, they can be making a bit of a different plan. So they have the Spectres, they got the SMGs. They're going to be pushing on through. The paint can's about to be thrown. Bior going to just take a full amount of damage. Already down to 6. Look at that. And that's the breach. That's going to be Josh's ultimate use. Nismo running around, but Bior does get away with that kill. And
6
now
HP.
I know, and it's just like something you don't see. He's still low, and he's still hanging out there. He's completely flashed, but Melio finally takes him down. It's just looking like a complete firefight, a complete mess through this. And now it is going to be enemy Super Soldiers that pan out that round somehow.
What a gong show. What an absolute gong show. I lost track. What's happening? Where am I? What's my name?
It was pretty, honestly, I just picture amount of fire, and it's just like everybody is just doing something. Like there's just way too much action, and just like you said, a total gong show.
It's
I mean,
like
I don't even get it.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z like fight scene where there's a massive like flame explosion. We're like, what happened? I don't know, but there's lots of fighting. I can tell you that. I heard that.
Oh boy. But either way, I mean, enemy Super Soldiers, they sneak through that round, and Prospects, I mean, they were on the bonus, but they did an immense amount of damage and almost took that round away, but they burned the economy for enemy Super Soldiers, so definitely something they want, but of course with the rounds and how close they are, they need to be pulling up a few more, but still plenty of time for them to make that comeback. RZU going to be creeping through Catwalk. Just posting his ground. He does spot the Killjoy, but not able to make any shots connect. Now it does look like the spike is going to drop inside the middle. So right now, Prospects, they're just feeling things out. They want to see what they can find.
They are trying to feel out the issue and say, okay, we've got a pulse check here. Let's flatline that pulse. The idea, trying to remove enemy Super Soldiers, and Nismo just scanning Catwalk. Not really getting rewarded for that movement though. Josh will. He's got a Vandal now, so he's into the big boy guns. Off the Bulldog, put the Bulldog back in the pen. And he's got the Vandal and the Dragon out then. Tame the Dragon.
30 seconds left.
Now will be Bior to find. That will be Josh, and Bior finds another. And this is just the, again, this positioning that they're playing right underneath a rafter. And this is such a tough spot for the attackers because you can't spam, I don't believe, on the outside of it. You can only spam when you're on top of it. But it will be Fizz. Oh, he actually does make it across. But time is completely ticking. He needs to go. He has to force this time, or he has to force these duels. But you can see he was kind of like, maybe I can pick up the frag. But no, it's going to be the Reyna. Full speed ahead. Look at this. Look at all this bouncing and chemicals. He's just bunny hopping his way to picking up that burst.
Oh, the slight hesitation. I think if you've gone straight for the plant, best odds. Absolute best odds. But those kind of bunny hops on your tail, boing, boing, following you, you can hear the footsteps, you can hear it pounding towards you. Oh man, your hands are shaking and you're trying to still shoot, but you can only do so much.
And it's just like slight decisions that you have to make, and you can see he was like, you know what? If I can pick up this frag, It guarantees me a spike plant and allowing me to position myself for these 2 remaining players. But like you said, Bunny Rabbit just jumping through the map and running right at him, and no fear at all. And all the consequence does go for Prospects, as now it is going to be Anime Super Soldiers that put themselves on the double digits of 10 rounds.
Pretty thin on the buy though, and Pradash, we go for a quick gander whenever you get a second, or the play obviously allows us to. What's the buy here? Yeah, it's pretty grim for the Super Soldiers. Oh, excuse me, and that's the... Oh, he's doing the flip of that. Excuse me, for Prospects. Their weapons looking pretty grim. I wonder if that's going to be enough for them to hang on. They're really on a thread at this point.
Yeah, really just pulling any kind of thread they can to see what they can do. But now it will be a bit of a cat control, but this is the one thing that we see what the teams do. They actually put a lot of attention, a lot of noise, and then they slowly creep their way back. And that's exactly what Prospects want to do. They have all 5 players remaining, but instead they don't want to make anything too rash. Still plenty of time to go. The ultimate going to be used when Frosty. Still scoping it out, repositions himself. That B site still has a defending member, but now it looks like Prospects is going to go back for it again. It will be Frosty to find the one, trying to find more. He's able to pick up a double. Will be Nismo to finally put him to sleep, and that will be Pho to pick up the extra frag. And now, spike about to be planted. Goes for a bit of a fake. Josh goes to flash point, and no, it's going to be Pho completely caught off guard, but he gets away with it again. And both these Prospect players, they need to find these openings. They don't have the strongest weapons, like you said, but they're stuck in sight. But now it's all just down to Josh, a stinger, and he's only going to sting chemicals.
Sting, we have the EpiPen on side, so that one will be alright. 10-6 to score. Moving on to 11-6, it will be enemy Super Soldiers. I mentioned it in the first half, saw a little bit of a comeback begin from Prospects, but they seem to put the relay baton down. Pick it back up, guys. 11-6. We need to see Prospects step up here, or this group stage best of 1. It's not going to be ascending anyway for them. It's going to be plummeting into the garbage for this one. If you're looking for the Anime Super Soldiers, though, what a game for them. They've not really stopped the momentum.
Yeah, momentum has just completely been going for the Anime Super Soldiers. A little bit of hiccups here and there, but not really too much of an issue for them. They really have seemed to show the full control. And even now you can see Pho is going to be pushing this op into a different spot. So just changing up their plan, the dark cover, isolates that plan a little bit, but no harm, no foul. He can reposition himself. Looks like he will transition back to A. And a very slow round from Prospects, a little bit different as before, where they seem to be putting a lot more of their eggs in that basket on one site or the other.
They did, and Bajor, he's having a run. He's doing super duper good here. Josh chiming in for one. Frosty is going to remove him immediately, so no more to be said or to be done in this round. 4 versus 4. Josh has been imperative for the majority of the clutches here, and I wonder if they're going to have the substance to continue through here. Really awkward position. The spike's going to get chucked down, though. Razu.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Razu, he's just not able to make that work. You could tell he was just trying to be trigger disciplined, but he wasn't able to make that work at all. He peeked a bit too wide, and the spray just didn't make the connection. And now it will be the defender Killjoy to be used, and that's the lockdown. Melio's stuck, but he falls off the box. It's just leaving the Fizz. Recon bolt out. He needs his gun, but he gets the one. Can he find more? It's just down to him. He's looking for another, and that's all it's going to matter. And that will be the spike defuse, putting Anime Super Soldiers in the match point.
You're talking on the attacker side there. You're trying to defend that post plan. You've got lockdown coming. You've got a 3 versus 1. You've literally got 5 seconds to complete that spray transfer. Not realistic. And that's the kind of situation that Anime Super Soldiers are putting the opponents in. Prospects, they don't have much of a prospect now, and that's courtesy of the Anime Super Soldiers just storming through.
Yeah, they really have. And now all the pressure for Prospects. 6 rounds behind. And at this point, what do we do? I mean, Prospects, they've tried to be a bit slow. We haven't really seen them try a full aggression yet. I'd like to see them put a little bit more pressure in this game to see if that will be the difference maker for them. And like you said, Nismo trying to be a bit of a, the movement, but that is going to be the Hunter's Fury used now from Anime Super Soldiers. So they're just burning their ultimates. And now Prospects, it's just down to the 2 of them, just leaving it to the Omen. And this could be it. It is going to be RZU by himself, no spike at all. Anime Super Soldiers, they should have this one in the bag.
8 HP, dude. Is that what Ace or sorry 4Ks are made of? 8 HP and no armor.
Anybody can just breathe on him, and then he's just going to timber over. But we'll have to see if he can find the player. But no, chemicals will take him down. That's going to be a 13-6. And enemy super soldiers show why they are super soldiers.
Indeed. I gave him some flack early on. Hit the gym, guys. Like, dude, cup of frag. It's you that needs to hit the gym. Put the Red Bull down. We're drinking Red Bull, and we're getting the gains, getting it done. And for VCS today, for the Sunday Showdown, that is actually, I think, the biggest scoreline we've seen in difference of rounds. We've had some 13-9s, and we've had some really close ones. But that one, 13-6, definitely a clear victor who's going forward.
Yeah, most of the games we had here earlier on in the group stage is 13-9s. I think both games were like that. But this one was a clear showing that enemy super soldiers really just had full control. A little bit of an issue in the very beginning, but that's kind of typical, especially when we have those more of the favorite teams to win. We always kind of notice they don't really know what to do yet. And that's kind of where prospects were showing their ability. But then it just looked like smooth sailing across.
Indeed, it was. And who's going to be for that top frag? You said pre-game. Frosty, have an eye, and look who it is, over the 300 combat score.
Yeah, with the 20 and 14, definitely Frosty definitely pulling up some pretty impactful frags, which has just allowed him to get that MVP. So congratulations, a very nice achievement to have, and of course, congratulations to Anime Super Soldiers for picking up the victory.
Wow, look at the assists there on Josh. He's got 13 assists and another frag to watch out for in future weeks here. Josh coming from CS, any of those CS players, that sharp, crisp aim, 13 assists, man. That's not something to ignore.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's the one thing I really like, that where we have these agent selections are picked. I mean, Josh playing the breach, kind of the typical thing that you would see from a CS player, because there's a lot of abilities that you can use. And in my opinion, breach is underused on so many different maps. But it is good to see that he, put up some pretty decent numbers, all things considered, and how that game went. Like, it was a pretty dominant win from Anime Super Soldiers, but definitely made a lot of good plays for his teammates.
Did he ever? So for Laz and myself, I believe that will be it for this afternoon. Hopefully you've enjoyed the run-in for the Valorant Sunday Showdown, all brought to you by VCS. Dilly, Mystic, thank you so much for being an awesome production team, Laz. Also, Pleasure Red Bull, HyperX, so many people to thank, but plenty more games to take you through the rest of your afternoon as well. On that note, have you got any other final post-its, final notes from you, Laz?
No, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and make sure to hang out here. And there's still plenty of games to go. We have lots of more of our fabulous casters that will be on the desk now, and looking forward to it. Thanks for having us.
Definitely. So check us out on the socials. Otherwise, later, guys.